Tottenham Hotspur have beaten Manchester United to the signature of Matheus Fernandes. £85 million has been agreed with West Ham United. We have been given the here we go from Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano. Now, the club have stated that Lucas Bergvall is not for sale in this window. Tottenham Hotspur are now trying to sign other targets in this window. Despite signing 5 players in June, they want more over the line. They are looking for a left winger and they are also looking for a forward player. And Antonín Kinský has just signed a new 5-year deal and he's come out and said, I feel the trust from the club. Hi everyone, hope you're well. Chris Cowlin here. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Now, if you do have 2 spare minutes, please do vote for us at the Football Content Awards 2026. All of the details are below and your support would be really, really appreciated. Thank you. Now, on Tuesday, David Ornstein from The Athletic stated, exclusive, Tottenham Hotspur win race to sign Matheus Fernandes from West Ham United. Spurs submitted highest proposal believed to be guaranteed £85 million, and 21-year-old West Ham United midfielder opted to join Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, numbers beyond where Manchester United were willing to go. Fabrizio Romano has given the here we go. Breaking news, Tottenham agree record fee for Matheus Fernandes. Here we go. Agreement in place, £85 million fixed fee as West Ham accept the price that they have always asked for. 100% guaranteed. Manchester United will now focus on different targets in midfield. Now, Michael Bridge from Sky Sports has stated Matheus Fernandes has been given permission to undergo his Spurs medical after an £85 million deal was agreed with West Ham. Spurs were determined to win the race to sign Fernandes and would have matched any offer Manchester United made for the player. In the end, United were unwilling to reach the £85 million Spurs put up for midfielder Fernandes. Spurs missed out on a number of key targets last summer, one of which was Bryan Mbeumo, who went to Manchester United, which has contributed to the hierarchy's desire to land a statement signing in this summer transfer window. Former Tottenham Hotspur star Jamie Redknapp has come out and said Fernandes would be a great signing. Spurs just have to get it done now. Now, talking on Sky Sports, Redknapp said it's great news for Tottenham fans and there will be a lot of excitement as this is something we have never really seen before. They are giving it a real go in the market. The previous regime would never have done this. Redknapp then went on to say there have been a couple of reasons. The 2 relegation fights have not been ideal with the fans and the board. They have had enough. And with Arsenal winning the title, it has almost embarrassed Spurs into action now. We have to act and start buying some proper players. And Sandro Tonali and Fernandes are the sort of players that the Tottenham midfield have been crying out for. They have not had that quality in there. Yes, they've had players who work really hard. Hopefully they can get the players in and they are going to be a real force next year. And right now, if you look at them, there is no reason why they can't have a go next year. It has been a great window for them so far. They have moved fast, which is something we have never seen before. And I'm a big fan of Fernandes, who was unfortunate not to make the Portugal squad. And for Tottenham, this would be a great signing. They just have to get it done now. Fabrizio Romano has also stated that Tottenham and Roberto De Zerbi were pushing like crazy to sign Matheus Fernandes from West Ham United for £85 million. And the Times newspaper have just stated that Tottenham want to sign 2 attackers during this summer transfer window, with one being a left winger and one being a forward player who can play across the front line. Fabrizio Romano on the Matheus Fernandes deal. He has stated that Roberto De Zerbi was a big factor in Tottenham's move for him. He called the midfielder several times to get this deal done. And the Times newspaper have just stated that Matheus Fernandes is attracted to the idea of playing for Roberto De Zerbi and his plan for his development, which involves becoming a central playmaker at the base of the team. The club have announced that Antonín Kinský has signed a new contract with the club. Antonín Kinský said, "I'm so happy and I can feel the trust from the club. When I joined 18 months ago, my expectations were to fight for my place in the team and to wear the shirt every week. It has been a real journey to get here and a nice story already, and I'm looking forward to what lies ahead over the next months and years." Kinský then went on to say, "Everyone around the club feels that we can have a successful season and I want to contribute to that. We want to give the fans what they want and what the club deserves." Now, sporting director Johan Lange on Kinský signing a new deal at Spurs, he said, "From the moment we identified Tony as a talent, we were convinced that he had the qualities, character and mentality to become an important player for this club. We've been delighted with the way that he has adapted over the past 18 months, both on and off the pitch, and this new contract reflects our confidence in his continued development. Tony has been outstanding. He has an outstanding work ethic, a strong desire to improve, and attributes required to perform at the highest level. Securing his long-term future is an important step for us, and we are excited to see him fulfil the potential we believe that he has." Now, head coach Roberto De Zerbi on Kinský, he said, "Tony was outstanding over the final 7 games of the season and a key part of what we achieved in that period. I'm delighted that he has committed his future to the club. He has earned this new contract not only with his performances but also his professionalism and desire to improve. We have huge belief in what Tony can become. He is still young, has enormous potential, and I know that Spurs is the perfect place for him to continue to develop into one of the best goalkeepers in Europe." The Chronicle in Newcastle have reported on Tottenham Hotspur target Sandro Tonali. They have stated that Newcastle United brace for bidding war as Manchester City join Sandro Tonali transfer battle. Spurs are not over the line yet, with Sandro Tonali now attracting big interest from Manchester City as new boss Enzo Maresca looks to make his mark at the Etihad Stadium. Now, the Daily Mail have just stated that Juventus are showing an interest in Tottenham Hotspur goalkeeper Vicario. Vicario is allowed to leave Spurs this summer after Roberto De Zerbi decided Antonín Kinský, who has signed a new 5-year deal at Tottenham, would be his long-term number one. Speaking to the Italian press, now Juve's CEO has confirmed that Vicario is one of several goalkeeping options that they are currently assessing. The Daily Telegraph have reported that despite Lucas Bergvall expressing a desire to leave Tottenham Hotspur this summer, Tottenham's stance is that he is not for sale. Sporting director Johan Lange and boss Roberto De Zerbi have spoken to the Sweden midfielder, assuring him about his part in the club's future. Now, on Tuesday evening, Sweden lost 3-0 in the World Cup against France, so Lucas Bergvall's World Cup campaign comes to an end. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode, and I'm going to keep this very short and brief because I'm going to play you the Sky Sports clip from earlier when I was on there when the news was just announced that we got the "Here we go" from Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano. Matheus Fernandes to Tottenham, £85 million. I think this is a super deal for Tottenham, and I think that this says a million words. You know, when we talk about, we don't want to hear the words anymore. We just want to see the action. Well, this is certainly action. Spurs are going for it. Spurs are going for it in this transfer window. Have we ever seen Tottenham Hotspur Football Club in our entire history sign 5 players in the month of June? Absolutely not. This is incredible. And I honestly feel that this is a sign of really good things to come at the football club and showing real ambition. And I've spoken about ambition so much over the last couple of years. I've actually felt like a broken record saying the same old thing again and again. And finally, we are seeing huge change at the football club, not only by us going out and spending £85 million on a player, but also beating Manchester United to a player like this, and also paying big wages. The wage structure has clearly changed at the football club as well by attracting top players like this. Will Spurs get Sandro Tonali over the line now? Your guess is as good as mine, and I'm certainly keeping everything crossed for more huge signings in this transfer window for Spurs to put us back to where we belong. And that's a term that Spurs used at the end of the season when we finished 17th again. Now, Lucas Bergvall is apparently not for sale. This is music to the ears of a lot of us Spurs fans because we can see what a top talent he is. But it is about how much game time he will be given under Roberto De Zerbi. But of course, that is a conversation for them to have one-to-one. Also, Spurs are now after other targets. Will Sandro Tonali get done? Spurs need a left winger, and we also need a forward player. We definitely need another striker in this transfer window, in my opinion. I've been saying this for weeks, if not months. Antonín Kinský signing a new 5-year deal, feeling the trust from the football club. I tell you what, I've spoken about Kinský a lot recently on this channel, and I'll say it again. Huge character he is. Because after that Atletico Madrid evening away in Madrid in the Champions League, when he was subbed by Igor Tudor, everyone thought that he was finished at Spurs. Everyone thought he was even finished as a footballer, his career and the way that he has turned things around. And I'm so glad that Roberto De Zerbi, and I said this the other day as well, I'm so glad that De Zerbi actually said it in the statement that he was a huge part of us staying in the Premier League. And I've mentioned this before. We give credit to the likes of Roberto De Zerbi, but we probably didn't give enough credit to Antonín Kinský with key saves that he made in those 7 games under De Zerbi, last season. So absolutely delighted that he is going to be given the number 1 shirt. Absolutely delighted that he is staying for a long period of time. And It's been a really good day. It has been a really good day for so many reasons. I just feel like everyone is, relieved that the fact that, the football club, they're not only saying we're going to be ambitious and they're not only saying that we know what we need to do, but we are actually seeing signs of, change. And that is the major thing for me. The change at the football club is desperately needed. We've been asking for this for so long. You can't keep going around making the same mistakes or the same types of decisions year in, year out, because we've been through so many different managers in recent years. So I'm just so glad that change is finally here. And of course, the Matheus Fernandes deal is a good one. And will Sandro Tonali or will another big statement signing come in during this window? I certainly hope so. But I tell you what, it does feel extremely exciting next season under Roberto De Zerbi with the type of football that he wants to play and the players that he is targeting. It's exciting stuff. Anyway, here is my very short interview on Sky Sports from earlier today when the news broke about Matheus Fernandes. Let me know in the comments section below what you agree with, what you disagree with, and who you would like to see in at Spurs next.
Right, more on that incredible news in the transfer market. Tottenham will be smashing their transfer record after agreeing a deal of around £85 million for Matheus Fernandes. What a huge coup this is for Spurs, who've won the race for the West Ham midfielder ahead of Manchester United. I've got Michael Bridge alongside me on set. Well, now we can speak to Chris Cowlin. Chris, what is your reaction to this news?
Bella, Michael, good evening to you both. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted. Vinay Venkatesham and the Spurs board have come out and said that it is about action and not words, and this is definitely the action that we want to be seeing as Tottenham Hotspur fans, and it seems very, very exciting under Roberto De Zerbi. I must say, we're on the 30th of June, and we're just about to sign our 5th player of the transfer window so far, and we haven't seen this type of action before at the football club. And all of the fans just want the football club to act like a big club and really go for it, back Roberto De Zerbi, and show real intent and show real ambition, and this is exactly what we're doing, so we're absolutely delighted.
Chris, can you quite believe this is happening? Because I was obviously with you at the fixtures release day a few weeks ago. A few players have come in, Van Hecker for 52 million, and now an 85 million pound deal. I mean, be honest, did you expect this?
I think it has to happen then, Michael. I think it has to happen because when you look at the last couple of seasons under multiple different managers, we've gone through so many different managers since we've been at the stadium since 2019, and you can't keep going around in circles and you can't keep doing the same thing. So I'm so glad that the football club now have realised that we need to do something different. But, this window is absolutely vital to the future of the football club, and you've got to be backing a manager like Roberto De Zerbi. He kept us in the Premier League. full thank you, to him. What he achieved there in the last 7 games of that season, and kept Spurs in the Premier League. And now we are fighting the likes of Manchester United and beating the likes of Manchester United to top players like Fernandes. And this window needs to be a very ambitious window, and we need to see a real change. We've been crying for change for so many years recently. Spurs should be challenging for top honours year in, year out. This is exactly what the ownership have come out and said. But they have come out and said it is about action and not words. And I'm so glad they're sticking to their words now and giving us the action, because, like I said, this window is vitally important. And it's funny, you sign a player like Fernandes, and now the Spurs fans are like, bring Tonali in. It's about the next player. So I just hope that Spurs are going to have a very busy July as well and show real ambition, because we should be fighting for top European places. We should be fighting for trophies and not be finishing 17th for 2 years on the spin.
Much of a major factor is Roberto De Zerbi in all of this. The board wanting to keep him happy and bringing in the players. And not only that, such a strong character, the players will want to come in and play for him.
Absolutely. There is a real excitement about Roberto De Zerbi and the football that he wants to play. And, football can change very, very quickly. As I've mentioned, we finished 17th in the last couple of seasons, but with Roberto De Zerbi there now, with the style of play that he wants to implement at the football club, it can be very, very exciting. And Roberto De Zerbi could take us to the very top. And I believe that if he is backed in the right way by the hierarchy, by the owners, then Roberto De Zerbi will be challenging for top honours at Spurs and giving us the entertaining football, playing the Tottenham way that we've always wanted and always deserved as Tottenham Hotspur fans. But yeah, it does seem very, very exciting. 5 transfers over the line on the 30th of June is just unheard of. But like I said, we've been calling for this change for so long.
Chris, I think the goalkeepers are sorted. You've got Kinský and Dubravka. Right-hand side, you've got Porro and Spence. Left-hand side, you've got Doggy and Andy Robertson. Centre-halves are sorted. Midfield, if they get Tonali, that would be more than sorted. Then for me, it's just the wingers and forward line. But with the money they're spending and the more money they want to spend, players will have to move on. Is Romero a must leave? And what's your stance on Lucas Bergvall?
I think Romero will probably end up leaving, particularly with the players that we have brought in. And I don't think many Spurs fans will actually be quite sad about that in the end with how everything has worked out. And the Lucas Bergvall situation, I really do hope that Bergvall does stay. He is a top player. But at the end of the day, it is about what the manager wants. If the manager wants some of these players out the door, and let's be honest and frank about it, some of these players will need to go out the door because you can't keep everyone, and sometimes you need to be ruthless in a transfer window when you're bringing in top quality players. Players do need to leave as well. But Bergvall is one for the future, just 20 years old. He didn't play very much. I think it was 112 minutes in the 7 games under De Zerbi at the end of last season. So it's about where they fit in. It's about where these players can fit in. Are they going to get minutes and be happy? But, that is a question for Roberto De Zerbi and a conversation for him to have with Bergvall. And I hope that he does stay.
Chris, pleasure to get your thoughts. We'll speak to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Now, if you do have 2 minutes spare, please do vote for us at the 2026 Football Content Awards. Your support will be really, really appreciated. Thank you. And have a great week and I'll see you on the next one. Keep smiling. Come on, you Spurs.